so he knows that if he holds on, he'll be alright. But it is a question of holding on here. Keiras does still have a bit of advantage, and he is going to grab this other base from where Jibs opened up the side. And Jibs won't scout that for quite a while now. You just see just how many units Keiras has here. He's got 9 soldiers, and they're going to start harassing around one side while he engages Jibs' army on the left here. He's going to back up. He's going to start putting a lot of pressure on this right hand side, and Jibs just needs to find a way to stabilize. Right now he's just being poked from so many sides. Keiras actually, did actually get +2 attack for his own units. It's going to be +1 versus +3, so Jibs is still ahead in that regard. You can see this castle is going to go down, and Jibs hasn't thrown down a tower to do anything about it. Jibs is actually throwing nearly 800 gold, so I don't know whether he's planning on going into dragons, or whether he's just been really pulled apart here by Keiras. Keiras' soldiers now start just rampaging into the natural, and they're going to start tearing apart the worker line. Jibs is over to the other side, but he's just out in the middle of the map and he's not getting anything done. This natural base is going to be just denied here for the minute. You can see once again there's just no towers or anything in the main base. Jibs is floating a lot of gold, and it's just not looking good for him. As much as he's ahead on bases, he's taking his 4th now, and he is ahead on upgrades. He just needs to take back control of this game. Right now, he just looks like he's all over the place, and he's making mistakes that aren't like him. And this is just giving Keiras more and more time. He's getting up a fort, clearing up this harassment, and Jibs is going to clear up this attack in the main base. Not a huge amount of workers went down. And it's still 30 versus 18, so it is still doing alright for him. And this is going to be a lot of Keiras' army that just went down. There we go, last attack gets cleared up. Jibs possibly just needing to throw down some more towers here. I think he's quite vulnerable with this 4th all the way over to this side, this back entrance open, and a lot of workers on low health. He just needs to find an opening. These soldiers are all set up on a concave on this 3rd. And Keiras' main base is actually not mind out. Keiras is actually going into dragons now, which is an interesting choice. I'm not sure I agree with this. Possibly earlier, or possibly when he was ahead, but it's really quite risky to make the switch when Jibs is pumping out so many units at once here. Jibs actually looking to go for the Mages Guild as well. He's going to come in on 3rd base, but there is a tower here and there is a superior concave for Keiras. Units trading on the right hand side, and Keiras actually GG's there. He sees the superior upgrades for Jibs, +4 armor versus nothing, and Jibs will take game 1. We're just going to get map 2 of Keiras now, and we're going straight into it again. Alright, and the ring is going to be our second map here. Just waiting for Jibs to join the lobby. Alright, players are ready. We're going to be going into it. And it is going to be game 2 of the best of 3 for this week's grand finals. Up in the top left hand corner, in the red trunks, making it all the way to the grand finals of his first tournament. It is Keiras. And then down in the bottom left, going once again for a really aggressive house. It worked for him last game. It is Jibs. Jibs with maybe slightly less to prove here today. He has actually won every tournament he's played in so far. And obviously you'd like to pick up this one as well. There is games to be won. There are rank points to be won. And those rank points are actually fairly important to some of these players. So, and obviously in the end it is just a rank, but when you're competitive like this, it's important. Jibs is actually currently sitting, I believe, in second place with 36 world rank points. And we're actually going to see house and barracks out of both players here. And Volt, the guy you saw eliminated slightly earlier in this tournament, he was actually in first place. He had 38 rank points. So Jibs really, he'd like to sort of take this tournament, because that would then pop him into, I believe, first place actually, by 1 point. He either draws or takes first place in world rankings this tournament. So at the moment, just waiting as the players sort of roll out their first initial builds, and we'll see how it goes. We have seen really spectacular micro out of Jibs throughout the tournament, but you've seen from last game he's not quite on form today. So we'll see how that plays out, because he is up against Keiras, who, although a bit of an unknown, has proved to be ridiculously good for his first tournament showing. Not many new players make it this far. So the other thing is also just to see how the nerves treat him. Obviously he did drop game 1, so we'll see how he handles that. That is going to be the mark of a top player, is how they handle losing a match and then going to the second one. Jibs actually going for the full scout, which I disagree with. He has already seen the barracks, and he's going to go in. Keiras is actually going to leave this worker alone though. And the first rifleman will meet. I've got to hope they're both on attack move, because there we go, Jib's actually with attack move versus move command, and he will get the first hit in. Worker coming in from behind, and this is going to give him map control. With a build this identical, this is going to be a really important factor in this map. And second rifleman out for Jib, slightly ahead. And this rifleman's going to get picked off. That's not what you want as your start of the match here for Keiras. Jib's hardly taking any damage. And this rifleman just trying to buy a bit of time, but the problem with going rifleman versus rifleman is once you take like that little extra hit, that's it. Like, you're in serious trouble until you can get an extra unit out. And Keiras actually not microing this worker. Not that it can do much, but you could get a few hits in on a rifleman. Yeah. And obviously, when the builds are this identical, like Jib's is sort of 5 seconds faster on most of his buildings, just because he's played a bit more. You can see every little bit matters here. A full rifleman for a small bit of health. It's going to be big. Now it's going to be 3 riflemen versus 2. The difference is going to be slightly smaller. But obviously if Jibs can get the focus fire, that's really going to make a big difference. It is going to be a soldier now coming out for Keiras. And Jibs is actually going for the proxy racks. So that's Jibs saying that he wants this game. He's going to take it. But Keiras is now going to be in his base. And he's not quite paying attention, but Jibs will lose a rifleman here. And he's not quite microing it great. He's going to pull some workers to try and deal with this. He's got riflemen of his own over at his opponent's base as this proxy rack starts up. Jibs again uncharacteristic, making mistakes with his micro, which are costing him a bit. Again, both players not quite up to scratch today. This is pretty demanding. They've been playing all day, and they're now in the grand finals. Jibs is going to be able to clean up some more riflemen over on the right hand side here, as his second barracks will finish up. Oh, Jibs actually cancels? Okay. Jibs cancels the second barracks, so I guess he's gonna go for a tower? Oh, okay, he wanted the house? I'm not quite sure. This rifleman will go down, and Jibs is going to attempt to supply cap his opponent. He won't quite because of the extra castle here. Yeah, Jibs, okay, he puts the barracks back down, so I've got to assume that was a mistake from him. You can see another rifleman off to the side. So, it's truly terrifying. This is Jibs not on top form, he's making mistakes, and yet he's just brutally taken apart his opponent here. This barracks will go down, although the soldier will probably pop out in time. I'd like to see Jibs actually start going for workers and actually going for sort of units. Alright, here come the worker pool here from Keiras. This is Jibs' opportunity to do a lot of damage. He is going to try and back out though. He's going to take a bit of damage as he rounds this corner. He didn't. What he really needs to do is actually just keep on top of that force. He's got the extra range, so he can dictate the battle. But he's giving his opponent a little bit of leeway here. With this second base and with this second racks compared to Jibs, Keiras may actually be able to get back into this game. He does have the smaller army though, and the second rack starts producing. So this may